Hi there. My name is Sherry Simpson. I'm a transformational life coach, which means that I help people transform their lives in any way that they need. And I wanted to chat with you today about the Akashic Records because it's something that I use to help people transform their lives. So the Akasha is the ether around us. I've spoken about this before. But I think many people just don't understand it, or they sort of hear the word and think, well, that's kind of weird. I've heard that before, but I don't know where. So the Akashic Records are in the ether around us. They begin in the fifth dimension. So one dimension is a dot, two dimension is a line, like what you go from A to B on your GPS. Three-dimensional is us in the physical dimension. Four-dimensional is where your thoughts are. Five-dimensional is the ethers around us, and in that fifth dimension is where the Akashic Records begin. And they go up towards source from there as they get lighter and lighter. And so you'll see as we go through dimensions, they get freer and lighter as you get closer to the 12th dimension, as you get closer to source. So the Akashic Records are basically the book of life. And they are actually a record of the soul, of every soul that's ever existed. And your soul record is basically a record or a book about all the lives you've ever lived, about all the experiences you've ever had, about all the situations, all the choices, everything that has ever happened karmically, ancestrally, generationally, everything is within your own book of life. And I have been introduced to these several times within my life and done several trainings around them. So when I was younger, when I was probably somewhere between ages 7 and 10, my parents were giving me books by Shirley MacLaine and Edgar Cayce about reincarnation and life after life and things like that. And Edgar Cayce is one of those people. He was a mystic. He used to hypnotize himself to get himself into a trance state, and then people would ask him questions and he would be able to respond through this level of hypnosis to be able to bring through medical intuitive guidance and other information about the worlds and people and places and things that have happened. And there's many, 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 many readings. My dad actually writes books about these, so his name is Doug Simpson. I can leave his link below. But the Akashic Records are this space, this record of everything that's ever existed. And each one of us has access to our own, which not everyone has believed, but it's absolutely true. And you can actually learn to access other people's. And through the Akashic Record guides, which are like security guards, they feed information through guides and angels to me, who then who allow me to interpret it in a way that my humanness can understand. So I've taken and done a lot of research and things and training about how to access it and what it means and what you can access and about accessing things from the past and from the how to project in the future and understand things in the body, in the mind, in our thoughts and our emotions and our beliefs, our patterns that are about who we are at a soul level, what kind of gifts and talents and challenges that we have, and about things like blocks and restrictions, like vows and contracts and curses, and things that have happened to us in past lives, like ways that we've died, or ways that we've lost, or ways that we've gained, that are impacting the life that we're living now. So what I do when I'm connecting to the Akashic Records is I ask my guides and angels to bring me to a place where I'm receiving truth, and I'm receiving any guidance for myself if I'm going into my own, or for someone else if I'm going into their record, that is for the highest and greatest good of that person's life now. So I want to bring information to you if you were to receive a reading from me that is going to be relevant to the life you're living right now, that is accessible about the life you're living, and that will help propel you and release old stuff from your past, propelling you into the future. into the future that you desire to create that is for your highest and greatest good. And how I do that, or how I've learned, I ended up reading a book from Linda Howe and getting some like incantations, I'll call them, about how to access the record. I did a course through Daily Ohm from a woman named Terry. I did a handful of courses. I've done a lot of courses through a woman named Andrea Hess, who does soul realignment practitioning. So I'm a soul realignment practitioner on multiple levels. I can work with you, I can work with your business, I can work on you with manifesting, I can work in many levels, even future projection, and how you can determine if you're in alignment with what you want to bring to you about the future, and how capable and possible that is for you within your comfort zone now, and how much you need to shift or change in order to bring those things to you within a period of time. And so that's a fun one to play with. Also, life situations are a fun thing to access, where you have a whole bunch of things that are going on in life and they don't at all seem connected. And I can go in and ask questions to see if there's any blocks or restrictions associated to like a vow of silence, or a vow of poverty, or a vow of suffering, or curses or contracts that you've created in the past, in past lives, or in this life in the past, with people in this life or in people from other lives that you've had that are actually affecting what is going on with you now. So I ask all of these questions, I get a bunch of information, and then I do that on my own. I don't need you in order to be present or even like online with me to do that. I access that information by going, by connecting with you on a soul level. So I ask for everything to be in alignment with my guides and your guides, and access to the Akashic Records. I ask for permission to enter your record, and then I'm confirming who you are based on who you are, who you are as in who you are at birth. So your month, day, year of birth, your complete name at birth, your name now, and where you were born, so that I'm not mixing you up with another soul who's on the planet right now. Because I want to make sure that I'm reading for you and not for some other person who was born on the same day, who may have been in the same town as you, or whatever. So confirming that I'm actually accessing the correct record and that I have permission to. And then I go in and ask a bunch of questions based on the soul realignment practitioner method. I have a list of things that I ask, that I collect all of the information about you from, and I put that into often a PDF, or sometimes I'll do it verbally if that's how you learn and how you want it expressed to you. And then we'll have a meeting like this at a later date where I explain the information that I pulled for you in the record, and how some of that stuff has been keeping you stuck, and then we have a conversation about how you can release it and how you move into your desired future and your wants and deservingness, and into a more passionate and purposeful and a greater, higher place, or how you attract a partner in, or how you expand your wealth or abundance or wellness, or all of those things can be accessible, and we can have the ability in order to bring forward. I've also done work with Jennifer Longmore through souljourneys.ca, and her stuff, I've done multiple things that have to do with business, as well as healing your money story, as well as healing inner child information. So a lot of the things that we have are subconsciously stuck within us, that we created as how we see the world, based on us when we were like somewhere between 2 and 7, and that creates the patterns and the things that we attract as an adult, because the subconscious sort of blocks things in that space, and then the conscious can't get through. So that's how I access the Akashic Record. That's the information that I am capable of providing with you. And how do I do that? I do that usually through one of the records that I do most commonly is the intuitive guidance record or reading. And that reading allows me to go in and ask a bunch of questions based on your intention. And then we do a reading like this that takes about an hour, where we're chit-chatting on video, so that you and I can release things, and I actually do some release after that that's energetic, that infuses your Akashic record after it has been cleared and released with things that are for your highest good, so that you can move forward with more flow and more ease and more joy. And then often the logical mind and the conscious mind doesn't understand things. And we've been creating these patterns for so long through past karmic generations, through our ancestry, through our DNA, and through a lot of lack and struggle, and a lot of one of those things we're healing on the planet right now is unworthiness and a lack of value and a lack of feeling enough. So if you've had enough lifetimes where you've been killed or abandoned or suffered, then a lot of the sensations that you feel in the body, or a lot of the things that you're experienced, are actually tied from that or to that old karma. And so releasing those things sometimes doesn't happen in a single session, because the thoughts and beliefs are still with us, and then the logical mind and the actions will recreate them. So sometimes we need 2 or 3 sessions in order to actually get the whole programming and us taking forward movement and action into alignment with the highest self and the ego self, so that we're feeling the passion and we're feeling the purpose to move forward. And then after that, often people will be ready and set to move forward, unless they're healing something like an autoimmune condition or chronic fatigue or chronic headaches or muscle pain. Then what happens is I like to take people through more in-depth coaching sessions that could be 8 or 12-week packages, where every week or every other week or every 3 weeks we meet and we go through the things that have happened. I still have access to your Akashic Records, so I can tie all of that stuff in. But I tie in all of the stuff that I have now learned about medical intuition, and I have psychic abilities and intuitive abilities about helping you to check in with your body. And then I teach you to expand your own intuition, so that you understand the signs and the symptoms of what your body is trying to say to you, because your body is a metaphor for your life. And if you can read that metaphor like you were reading something in the palm of your hand, then you can understand what is going on and what needs to shift, and what your body and the messages around you, through your kids and through your dogs and through your house and through your interactions with your colleagues and your other loved ones, are trying to show you. So it's fascinating work. It's fascinating to move forward. It's fascinating to do releases in order to move forward, especially if you feel like you've been stuck, or you're not experiencing life to the fullness that you desire, or you know that you deserve more and you can't seem to get there on your own. Then the intuitive guidance reading with a couple of sessions, or a full-blown, I want to ditch my autoimmune condition or disorder, I want to ditch my chronic headaches, I want to move forward, I want to start this business, I want to thrive in wellness, I want my relationships to be awesome, or whatever it is. Coaching packages where we're actually discussing these things, bringing through the blocks and restrictions, releasing them, and reprogramming your mind to be for your highest and greatest good, so that you're sending out messages to the universe that are, this is what I want, this is what I desire, this is what I deserve, and then you're attracting that back to you. So that in a nutshell is what the Akashic Records are. That is how I help people. That is what my purpose and my path and my passion is. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. If you want a reading or a series of readings, I would love to do that for you. You can connect with me online at yltcoaching.com and share, like, comment, send out this video to anyone who you think may be ready for a shift or who needs this information. Because a lot of times we feel like we're doing everything we can, but we're just not getting there, or you just don't get it because you know logically that things should make sense, but subconsciously or karmically there's things that are holding you back, spiderweb holding you back, or just that you can't access that you know you should be able to. So it is my highest path and purpose to guide other people into their own intuition, into their own intuitive guidance, into their own expansion, into creating the life that you desire and deserve. So yltcoaching.com, I would love to help you. Like, comment, share, and have a beautiful day wherever you are. Know that you are loved, that you deserve the life you desire, and that you can bring it to you by thinking and knowing and trusting that you can bring it to you. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.